Some of you are probably wondering, how effective are my windows? So today, we're going to do a little test because there was a leaf blower running in my neighborhood, and that gave me a great opportunity to test the effectiveness of a double pane window when it was open, when it was closed, and then go outside and take a measurement of the actual leaf blower outside and compare them. And what does this tell us? It gives us the effectiveness, the STC rating, approximately, of the window. So what it tells you is how much noise is it stopping. So let's take a look at the results.
So in this test, I recorded the leaf blower noise next to a double pane window in my kitchen. I measured it when the window was open and again when it was closed. Now, in this same room, about 4 feet away from the kitchen window, there's a very large window with an extra plexiglass pane over it. You've probably seen this window in another Soundproofist video about how to make a do-it-yourself window insert. So even though the measurement is a little bit flawed because it's in the same room as the window that doesn't have an extra plexiglass sheet on it, I wanted to see if there was any difference in the meter reading when I held it next to the plexiglass window. And finally, I went outside to see where the leaf blower noise was actually coming from. I couldn't see it from my windows. When I got outside, I saw a gardener about 100 feet away, but I think he was farther away when I started. And so I measured the noise again with the Decibel Meter app. By accident, I had the meter set to dBA instead of dBc, but for the purpose of this video, I think this still gives us plenty of useful data. So let's take a look at some of the readings and the results. First, here's the leaf blower with the window open. It looks like the noise ranges from about 51 to 57 decibels. Now, here's the leaf blower with the window closed. It ranges from 35 to 42 decibels. From this, you might say that closing the window seems to make a difference of 15 to 17 decibels. The other window with the extra plexiglass on it ranges from 32 to 38 decibels. The extra plexiglass lowers the noise by about 4 decibels. Outside, we measured the leaf blower from 100 feet away, and you can see that the noise ranges from 69 to 72 decibels. With this data, let's do a rough estimate of the STC of the windows. If you've watched other Soundproofist videos or studied acoustics, you know already that STC means sound transmission class. It tells you how much noise is blocked. In this case, how much outside noise is blocked by the window, and I guess the wall. So the leaf blower creates 69 to 72 decibels of noise outside from 100 feet away, and inside, with the window shut, it's 35 to 42 decibels. If you subtract that value from the outside decibels, you get an estimate of the window's STC, which ranges from 30 to 34 STC. That's actually pretty good. As I've said before, a typical double pane window is usually about 27 to 35 STC. If my double pane window has a maximum of STC 34, it's at the higher end of that range. And using the same calculation, the approximate STC of the window with the extra plexiglass on it goes up to about 37 STC. Now there's another measurement to think about, and that's the frequency. And we captured the frequency of this noise when we measured the decibels. Remember, it's the lower frequency noise that bothers you the most. Low frequency noise penetrates through solid surfaces, and that's why you still hear motorcycles, trucks, and leaf blowers, even with your windows shut. So with the window open, we got a range of frequencies coming in from a very low 26 Hz to about 436 Hz. With the window shut, we still got the lower frequencies, but we cut off some of the higher ones. The range looks like it's about 32 Hz to about 220 Hz. So frequencies over 220 were mostly blocked with the window closed. The window with the plexiglass on it still allowed low frequency noise. It started at about 53 Hz, with the highest frequency during this test at about 209 Hz. So it cut some of the very lowest frequencies and a little bit of the mid-range. and that's consistent with what I actually hear from the street noise. And finally, outside, the frequency ranged from 80 to 430 hertz, and it had a few peaks of up to 656 hertz. So what this tells me is that the frequencies above 220 hertz were blocked by the closed window, but low frequencies still came in. And sometimes they registered even lower inside than outside. Maybe it's because of the resonance in wood frame buildings. But don't just go off the meter readings. They can sometimes flash by so quickly that you might miss something. If you're using an iOS device and you use the Decibel Meter app, you can generate a report and review it second by second to look at the decibel peak, the decibel average, and the average frequency of an event. So in summary, double pane glass windows have an STC that ranges from 27 to 35. They're effective at reducing noise, but on their own, they don't eliminate low-frequency noise like leaf blowers and vehicle engines. A single sheet of plexiglass does increase the effectiveness of an existing window, but it might only be a modest difference of maybe 4 decibels. And although it reduces certain frequencies, the lower frequencies can still sneak in. I hope you found this helpful. If any of you get better results from your windows or window inserts, let me know in the comments. And remember, for more information about noise and acoustics, visit soundproofist.com.